Interview presented by Canaceutics Medical Dispensary, proudly serving New Mexico cannabis patients with trustworthy all-natural medicine since 2010.
Welcome to Cage Minds. I'm Micah Frankel. Back for a third time in a short time. We are talking to Josh Weems ahead of Bare Knuckle FC this time. Bare Knuckle MMA. Sir, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Mike. Appreciate you having me again, man.
Man, it's great to get to talk to you and catch up. You got some big things happening. You promised us the last time we were going to talk to you that big things were on the horizon, and you announced Irwin Rivera. That's a cool name. People will recognize that name for his scraps in the UFC from some of the headlines he made. So, what do you think about this opportunity? First off,
Man, I'm honored to be on a card with such great legends like Junior Dos Santos and Fabricio Verdum. It's a huge blessing, man. It's a big way for me to get my name out there. I feel like I got a good dance partner in Irwin Rivera. He's a tank. He likes to come forward. He's got some good wins over some good guys. And yeah, man, I think he's going to definitely be one of those guys where it's going to pull the best out of me. And it's been huge motivating for this whole camp, just like the Brandon fight. I talked about that with you. It's like every day I woke up just super motivated. So yeah, man, it's been super exciting to just be on the card with Fabricio Verdum and Junior Dos Santos. So I'm excited and training hard, ready to put on the show, Micah.
you're no stranger to bare knuckle. You've done the bare knuckle MMA thing before. Do you feel like it's that much different than gloved MMA?
So yeah, I do. I think it's a lot different. Yeah, it's just small little errors and bare knuckle anything. Just because that knuckle hits the right spot, it cuts you open. It don't matter how tough you are. Sometimes the doctor stops it, or you can't see, whatever the case may be. So that's a big part of my game, whether I'm in gloves or no gloves, is hit and not be hit. That's kind of my style. So yeah, I haven't actually ever taken just a smooth flush punch bare knuckle like as a pro athlete. Obviously, I was a hoodlum and took some bare knuckle to the face whenever I was younger. But yeah, I've been pretty safe in my two bare knuckle fights so far, and I plan to do the same thing with Rivera. Be the matador, make him miss and make him pay.
Is it that big of a difference, the mentality and the thought process towards a game plan for bare knuckle MMA to your regular MMA fight?
No, sir. No, not as far as mentality or a game plan. No, sir. I'd say just going to try to mix it up, find out where he's, weakest at.
Do you see holes already, areas that you feel like you're going to be able to exploit on Irwin's game as you're heading in, or do you feel like it's things that you're going to have to open up in the ring?
I think both. I'm definitely seeing some things by watching some footage. He posted his last, or they posted his last bare knuckle fight, which was bare knuckle MMA versus Joe. I forget his last name. I'll probably butcher it, so I'm just gonna stop there. But it was a pretty good fight. The guy does not fight anything like me, but yeah, we've seen some things that he does well and some things he doesn't do well with. And yeah, I mean, obviously, good fighters with a good camp are going to change things. So that's why I have the other mindset of I will have to find some openings. I'm pretty good at reading guys. And if he keeps doing the same thing over and over, which he does a lot, I will make him pay for that for sure.
Tell us about your camp. What has the process been like for you, specifically for this one, to again grow your skill set?
Man, like I do every MMA camp, just continue to try to go with the best guys I can go with. Really honing in on mixing everything together. We're not just kickboxing. We're not just boxing. We're not just doing wrestling. We're not just doing jujitsu. We're mixing everything up really well, and that's the one thing think I've changed the most on the last couple camps is being able to mesh everything together. So that's been great. I went back out to Albuquerque, put in some good work there, put in some good work at Nashville MMA with Dustin Ortiz, Christian O'Con, several other Zach Hicks, I think's his name, a couple other pretty good guys. That was my main training partners there. But I've gotten to get a couple different looks this camp, and camp's not over, man. We are less than 3 weeks out, man. And I do. This is where I grind hard, man. This is all gas, man. And I know it's a cliche little thing, but I'm not stopping, man. I push hard until fight. About 2 days out from our fight, we rest and cut weight, and it's game time, man. So I'm feeling great. We've game planned for Irwin, and we're just gonna keep sharpening the tools.
What does the next 3 weeks look like? We know that you're a nomad, as you said. You get out here, you get out there. Do you stay home for these next couple weeks, or is there another little trip to another gym that's in place?
So yeah, I actually forgot to mention that earlier in the camp, I went to Kurt Hollabaugh's gym. They got a really nice gym in Louisiana. Kurt just went to the Ultimate Fighter, won the Ultimate Fighter, won this past Saturday. I'm a big fan of Kurt, even though he's not from Mississippi. I wanted him to beat Jason Knight, even though Jason Knight's from Mississippi. I love that Kurt's a family man. He puts his family before anything. And he's shown this is his third time to make his way back to the UFC. So I got like a bunch of respect for him. I think he's a great coach and a great fighter. So I'm actually going there this Friday. I'm going to get some good rounds in with him and some of his guys, even if it's not with him because he just fought. But I just like to have his wisdom and going with some of his guys, getting a different look. But for the last 2 weeks, after this Friday, it's just going to be at home. We're training with Black Sales family, the Primal family, my Grapple family. We're just sharpening all the tools and just keeping everything ready, man.
Do you feel like, not specifically for Irwin, but for bare knuckle MMA, do you feel like there's a bigger opening to utilize your striking? Because, like you said, one strike is so damaging in bare knuckle, or do you feel like without the gloves, you're able to get a better grip? This is where your grappling excels. Do you feel like one attribute is more emphasized when you're bare knuckle MMA?
Oh yeah. I would say, as far as probably different styles favor different, you know what I mean? Like, but for me, I feel like I'm a pretty strong grappler and I'm a kicker. So I'm gonna save my hands. I'm gonna punch when I need to, but I'm gonna stay along with my kicks and really look to mix in my grappling. So I think just with my experience of the first bare knuckle MMA fight, the grappling on the ground is a whole different ball game because you don't have the gloves kind of blocking you when you're hand fighting for chokes and whatnot. So man, I think it's for grapplers. I think it's going to be a little better for them. But for strikers, in a sense, for power strikers, I don't think it's going to be great for them. They got to learn to dial it in a bit. You know what I mean? And kind of just more accuracy. That's just my thought on it. Because it's easier to break your hands bare knuckle. So my bare knuckle boxing match, I think I had a bad boxer fracture leaving that fight, but I threw a bunch of big overhands, big straight rights. And that's what I took away going into the second bare knuckle MMA fight, and what I will in this one, we won't look for big power with our punches, look for speed and accuracy, look to shred his face, and not be hit, mix up what we want. I'm definitely, I love to stand up with this guy because I've never in all my fights gotten to fight a southpaw, so I'm super excited. I've gotten a lot of training time with southpaws, but never gotten to actually pull the trigger in a fight. So I'm excited. It's the first time I might have a hair of height on somebody. So I might be able to, try to stay a little longer with this guy. So I'm excited, man. I really think that I'm going to get my fans, my people, and myself, I'm going to get the best performance. And I know I said that in the Brandon fight, and I did. I mixed it up nicely for 5 whole rounds. And felt great doing it. So there were things I took away where I could have been more active off my back when he got me there. But again, you got to be able to learn from your wins. So we're fixing those things for this one. And if I can imagine, if I could put that pace for 25 minutes, this next one for 15 minutes, it's going to be wide open. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, you hit on it, and you said something there that I don't know if I've ever asked you about. What is the root and the origin of this nickname? Wide Open isn't you don't have 5 wide opens. You got 30 pit bulls. Wide Open. I mean, I love the originality, but what's the origin?
So, like down in the South, like it's a lot of, people say down here, they're just like, hey, that boy right there, he's wide open. You know what I mean? Like he's just full of energy. And I start my fights that way. I'm very energetic. I had my baby girl whenever I was 15, turned 16. couple months later. So I had to grow up really young. So I got a lot of energy, a lot of a kid mentality. You know what I mean? Like I'm a businessman when I need to be. I own my own business. But I know how to switch the gear. I don't know. And I'm with my buddies, with my kids. Like I'm kind of kind of just joking all the time. So I'm just kind of, I don't know, full of energy. So my teammate, he was like, yeah, man, you're like a weed eater. You're just wide open all the time. So like, I don't know, I didn't care for it at first, but it stuck. And, you don't really name your own, you don't give yourself your own nickname. So I just kind of embraced it, and it is what it is. So, I mean, I'm pretty high energy. So I understood why. It was one of my buddies, Jonathan Jackson and James Horn. Both of them are basically like coaches and teammates of mine. But yeah, they named me.
Oh, okay. Now, once you explain it, I can fully see where it connects and why it fits so fully on you and how you put that towards your fight game. And we've seen with your fight game that you've produced this confidence when you're in bare knuckle. Do you feel like Irwin has that same kind of confidence in bare knuckle that he did in regular MMA?
I think he's got more. I think, in my opinion, he's a lot like me. Like probably fought a lot as a young man, and everybody in my family knows that I fought as a kid. Like I don't know, I had an older brother, and I might have got beat up by him, but it made me tough and not want to get beat up by anybody else. And so I think Irwin's got that dog in him, like I do, and that's why I think that we're the sleeper fight of the whole card, besides Fabricio and Dos Santos. Those guys are definitely going to put on a show. Like you can't. I can't say that our fight's gonna be better than theirs, because it's probably not. But we're gonna throw down, and I'm gonna be excited to watch those legends throw down again. So, but yeah, I think we're a lot alike in that sense. Where yeah, he's got confidence, I got confidence. We both have strong mentalities, but that's what's gonna put money in our pocket on fight night. And I don't know what he does this for, but I'll remember why I do this, and I do right when that bell rings too. So he better be prepared, or it'll be a short night.
You mentioned it right there. Why you do this, and I can already see the glassiness in the eyes. So you just already start thinking right there when you say it. When you mention, you start thinking about the family and the people that you're providing for.
Oh yeah, man. I don't just think about that though on fight night. I think about that 8 weeks out. That's what makes me a dangerous person when you step in there. You got to deal with me for 15 or 25 minutes, and yeah, I train with that mentality every single day, man, because I got 2 young kids that watch me, and I put so much time into this sport, and it's gonna pay off.
The last win, the momentum, is it like almost a high to push you through the next camp to start this, that you go from that was a massive moment for you to really take the flagship of Mississippi, that you're the best bantamweight there, and it catapults you into another recognizable fight. So you kind of feel that momentum pushing you as camp is here.
Most definitely. It gives me the confidence I need, but again, Micah, I'm not satisfied, man. I won't be satisfied. I'm happy with my performance. Don't get me wrong, but just like with a loss, I push just like I do with wins. Wins and losses are no difference for me in the way I push, man. Because I have the greatest why, man. I know it might sound cliche, you hear it all the time, probably, but my kids, man, like when yeah, they got to know I'm doing it for them. And there's no time wasted, man. You don't see me in the gym talking and bull crapping, man. I'm in there putting in work, and it shows in my fights. So, yeah.
And just for everybody that doesn't know, if they haven't been paying attention to the announcement for this card, September 8th, Jacksonville, Florida, game bred bare knuckle. You got JDS, Junior Dos Santos, Fabricio Verdum rematch. You got Renan Barao versus Sean Soriano, Brandon Jenkins, Anthony Njokuani, our man right here, Josh
Yeah.
Weems versus Irwin Rivera. And I got to actually ask, have you and Brandon talked since the fight? I see he's also on this card. Have you guys had any communication after you guys dueled it out?
Nah, man, we talked. I showed him love after the fight. As you know, I respected him before the fight. But no, we haven't talked. Yeah, I saw he was on the card, and I was like, "That's awesome, man. Yeah, hopefully he gets it done." The 2 Mississippi guys go out there and put on a show. I know I'm going to, so hopefully he's been working, and whoever he's got in front of him, he can get it done. Because again, I'm always pulling for him if he's not against me or my team.
We know you want the big things. You want to be back in the UFC. You want to be in the big fights. This is at the ViStar Arena. I went through all the names that you're sharing the card with. Does it give you that same kind of feeling that you're back on that big stage?
Oh, most definitely. I mean, I'm getting paid more than the UFC offers, that's for sure. And like that alone gives me a lot of fuel and motivation. But just being such fans of Jorge Masvidal, being such fan of Fabricio Verdum and Junior Dos Santos, man, Renan Barão. It's an honor to be on the card with those guys, man. I'd love one day if Renan still fights at 35. I don't think I'd love to fight that guy. He's a freaking savage. You know what I mean? Like, just one of those guys I watched growing up. And yeah, man, like I said, I'm just honored to be on the card. So yeah, I would say this platform is just as big or bigger because not bigger than the UFC. Let me correct that. Just meaning that there's a lot of eyes going to be on this event because it's new. It's going to be free on YouTube. Is what I was told. So like, and then just I think that just being the names that are on the card, I'm going to get that recognition. And when they tune in and they see me throwing them hands and kicks, man, they're going to be like, all right, let me just, I don't want to just watch the Dos Santos fight. I want to watch the whole card, you know, and maybe hopefully they're watching the prelims all the way up. But I'm excited. Like I said, just an honor to be on the card with legends and fight for Jorge Masvidal's promotion. And yeah, man, just looking to let this be another stepping stone to where I need to be, man.
Josh Weems, it's great to get to catch up with you. Thank you for taking some time out of your day, out of the camp to stop by. Look forward to seeing you September 8th.
Micah, again, I appreciate you for having me, man. Yeah, we'll get together after this fight and talk about how it all went down.
And real quick to fill everybody in, I'm a little disappointed that we're doing this on Zoom. I actually met Josh in person the other day, and we're still here, so we're gonna have to get that one the next time you're out here training.
Yeah, man, it was. I think we were both in go mode there, but yeah, it was good to see you there at Jackson Links for sure. We'll definitely catch up in person next time I'm there.
Good talking to you, sir.